Darcy, thank you for joining me again. We've done it
Of
twice this
course.
year so far. This is great.
Yeah. Good to see
Uh,
you.
Thank you for coming on today to talk about Shotgun Wedding, premiering January 27th on Prime Video. I had Jason on yesterday, and I told him I watched the movie with my wife a couple nights ago, and the first thing I said to him was like, "Who doesn't like a good wedding comedy, action, pirates? Is there anything else that I'm missing in there?"
No. I mean, probably there's probably other things. Yeah, it really is. It checks all the boxes. Like, who wouldn't like this movie? There's something for everyone. It's like yeah, it's the biggest like blow up explosions, kissing, sexy J-Lo, running down the beach, like family drama. It's like everything you'd want in a movie, all smushed into one gigantic big movie, and it's really just plain fun.
And it's right away. It starts off as soon as you get into it. It's like action comp. It's like
Right.
right through for an hour and 40 minutes.
Totally. Yeah, you get the
Yeah.
tone down right away for sure. Yeah, I've watched it a few times. I love it. I think it's so
Yeah.
much fun.
For what are you hoping for? Like when viewers tune in to watch this for the first time?
I think it's like that. It's you can watch it in the comfort of your own home when it's like this cozy, warm. I mean, rainy, cold season. You can watch it like
Yeah.
warm on your couch. It feels like a very winter escape movie. It's like tropical and weddings and tan people, and it's like everything you sort of want in this January month. When I know, like in LA, at least it's gray and rainy, and I'm sure if it's gray and rainy in LA, it's gray and rainy everywhere. Um, so it just feels like I want what it gave me, which is just like exactly an hour and 40 minutes to just escape into your TV. It's just so fun.
Now, how were your approach for this project? Is there anybody that you knew, anybody that told you to come on board, or was it the usual audition for this?
It was, you know what? It wasn't an audition, which is so thrilling because auditions are hell. But I don't really know. Like I hadn't worked with Jason or the producers, but this world is so small and all it takes is like one mutual friend, and somehow I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Maybe it was the good place. I don't know. Whatever it was, I'm very grateful for it because it was such a thrilling offer to receive, and then the fact that the script was so good and that all these people were involved, and the cast and J Lo and Jason Moore and the Dominican Republic. It was like
Mm,
couldn't have been more yeses.
yeah. Speaking of the script, when you after you booked the role of Harriet, when you read the script, what went through your mind at first?
Oh, I was so excited because they didn't tell me everything about it. It
Mm,
just, I think I knew what was sort of like I don't know, the like Harriet log line or description or whatever, which was just that she was like this kind of new agey hippie trophy wife with like more than meets the eye or something. And I didn't know where all she'd go. And so I was very excited about where she went.
mm. How did you approach to play this character?
I think like, you know, when you're playing a character that has like more going on than what it appears when
Mm,
whether it's a secret or a different whatever. There's so many different things it could be, like multiple personalities, or like there's so many different fun characters that have more than meets the eye. I think it's just finding that balance between you know finding the truth in like you can't lean too far one way or the other. Like I always feel like if somebody watched a movie back, if there's like twists and turns in a movie, it's so fun to watch a movie and see things you didn't see before.
right.
I love doing that. So I think it's just balancing, finding that balance of like the reality of the character and how she would be in any of these situations, like the
Mm.
truth of who she would be and how she would be acting.
Speaking of the twists and turns, were you excited the way your character goes through the movie?
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me? It was so fun. It was so fun. Like,
Mhm.
I again, I would have said yes no matter what. Like if this movie, they're like, you're playing a frog that sits on a log and you don't say one single word, I'd be like, I'm there. But the fact that it was all of this and with all
Yeah.
these exciting things to do, I was like, I couldn't have been happier.
Mm. We see you in the beginning of the movie also with Cheech plays you mentioned husband.
Yeah.
Uh, Describe that relationship between you two, the chemistry.
It was he's obviously Cheech is a living legend, and I was excited it was going to be him, but I was also nervous to meet him. And
Mm,
we met, a couple weeks before we started filming. He was so warm and immediately like just genuine and down to earth and made me feel at ease and comfortable, and And then the cast had so much time together. It was like a year into COVID, and so we were really like bubbled up together, and we were all living together, and we spent every minute together. So by the time we were filming, there was already this kind of like instant bonded chemistry, and that just kind of came with real life. So it was easy with Cheech, and I think we both knew we wanted what we wanted this relationship to look like, and so we just went with it.
And he seems like a very easy, down to earth type of guy.
Totally. He's so easy. I mean, all we do when we're together, all we do is talk, 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 talk. And I just like let him, I just ask him a million questions, and I want to hear all the stories. And, he's great. He's great.
Now, speaking of you said it was filmed in the Dominican Republic. Most of the movie takes place in the pool. Tell us about that. Like you're in the pool for a while.
I know. You kind of like, you have to, because obviously it takes place in the course of a day. So
Right.
As you're watching it, you don't necessarily think about how many actual days it takes to film a movie, which is, we were in the pool for weeks. We were in the pool for hours a day for weeks. And it was very soggy and wet. And the like downside of it would be the kind of like wrinkly, pruny fingers and like eating lunch in like soaking wet costumes. Or actually, oh my God, I'm just remembering this. The worst thing to do would be if you took your costume off during lunch and then having to put back on a wet costume was something you did one time and then never again. You were like, I would rather eat in a wet costume than have to put this back on. So that was the worst of it. But the reality of it is like we were in a stunningly beautiful location in like hot tub warm water, and we were surrounded by like the beach and jumping whales and all together and having like a blast. So it was not real problems.
I think Jason mentioned you guys were there for 45 days. Did you do all 45 days there, or did you go back and forth?
I was in, let's see. Maybe I wrapped like a week before it ended. But there was a while where it was just the only actors were Josh and J-Lo and Lenny and me, and because everybody else had wrapped. Like once the family was done, it was two different movies almost, or two different like lives, because I was living with all the actors. There's all these people, all this noise, all this like commotion, and we would be eating all the meals together and everything. And then the families, like the two families of actors wrapped, and they all went away, and then I was just sort of like alone, just like living in a beach house by myself. But it was great. It was great. The whole thing was great.
This movie has like an amazing cast, A-list cast pretty much. Is there somebody in that cast that you kind of wish you had more scenes with, or you didn't have any scenes with that next time you're hoping to work with them?
Oh, I mean, honestly, like you could name anybody. I would be so. I got to spend a ton of time with Cheech and Lenny, and obviously, like it's an ensemble, so there's a bunch of big group scenes. But any one of those, if you told me I was going to do a movie with any one of the people that I got to be in this movie with, I would be jumping at the chance. There's just like I'm such a fan of everybody. Like I could pick out any of them, because right now I'm like, I'd love to do another movie with Coolidge. Oh, Steve Coulter, Callie, like any, Sonia Braga, J-Lo, like anybody it was just incredible. It was incredible.
I don't want to give out too many spoilers, but you mentioned Lenny, and there's a certain scene on a helicopter, because I love action movies and I love comedy too, but like tell us about that. There's a big scene in that movie.
I was really looking forward to that scene, and that was the last scene I shot over a couple of days, and I was really just, I couldn't wait, and I was telling the stunt people like, I'm ready whenever you guys are, let's get in there. And it was so fun. It was so fun, and you got to be ready, because a big scene like that is like you don't get a ton of freedom with it. It's like you got to know what you're doing and get in there and do the thing, and then it's done. Like when there's like these big, huge things with all this, it's not just like, okay, what's the emotion of this scene? It's like, oh, there's going to be like guns and helicopters and this and that. It's like, you better be ready, So I was excited.
How many takes did it take you to do that scene?
They shot it from a bunch of angles, but once I would say like, I mean, again, I know these are spoilers, so release these later. But like when you know, you only get so many shots in a gun. You know, you only
Yeah.
get like it's not like you could just do 15 takes of something. It was just a few and then in and out. But yeah, a lot of different angles and a lot of different, I don't know. You kind of, it's so much bigger than you at that point. You have to just say like, you just have to be ready for anything. It was really fun.
Last question now is, what was your favorite thing about playing this character? Period.
I think getting to play a character, you know, with a getting to play a character with a secret is just, it's like it's really fun as an actor to get to like just ride that line and play with the balance of like what you reveal and what you don't. And it's really, it just, you know, it just makes every day on set like that much more exciting because you're kind of balancing and, you know, it's just fun. It's fun.
Amazing. So Shotgun Wedding premiering January 27th at Prime Video. Darcy, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today.
Thanks. Good to talk to you.
To you. Bye-bye.